All right, so what's going on, Spurs Nation? Let's dive into the second quarter now of this game, and let's see what the Spurs kind of do and the adjustments they make. Well, to start the second quarter, first off, let's look at the lineup. We got Jeremy Sohan, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Chris Paul, and Wemby out there on the floor. Now, Vassell's got Kispert right now, who the Wizards are setting a double pin down screen to try to get a wide open three. Now, as I think the assignment here, is obviously to trail it on his hip. He's the best shooter on their squad. Try not to give him any daylight, but these double pin downs came down really nice. And right off the first one, Devin Vassell's calling for help on a switch. Now, I don't think Stephon Castle isn't in a position right now to do anything. We're actually right now. Look, I mean, everyone's in their stance. Look at Chris Paul in the stance. Look at Jeremy Sohan in the stance. Wimby's where he's supposed to be, but Castle's just kind of out there and wasn't really ready to receive this communication. Right here, Devin's like, "Hey, I need help." And it's already too late. You got Kispert wide open on the three. It's a late contest. Now, if you look at Mitch Johnson up here on the top of your screen, he's about to get pissed at that communication breakdown, right? See, Devin Vassell's over here kind of clapping his fist like, let's go. Even though the assignment is probably, to trail over those two screens, he just couldn't do it. And then so when he called for help, it just wasn't there. And now Mitch Johnson is looking at Keldon, says, let's go. puts Castle on the bench for that. And he gets Keldon in the game right here early in the second quarter. So now let's see what Mamu also enters the game. Good luck to Mamu in Toronto. We got Keldon Johnson also in the game here. See what gets caught here. Again, all these double screen actions, there's just no effort, no communication. Look, I mean, everyone just no effort getting over these double screens. So that's something that the Spurs are just going to have to do better. I mean, if you pull that out just out of this little clip here, is just that what you can pull out is just that the Spurs need to do a better job communicating, and that's one of the big things. To being a good defensive team is communicating often and early. On the offensive end, we're going to look at Wemby here at the high post. We're going to run this little action, fake dribble handoff. There's just no one in the world that can do anything about it. I mean, that's just ridiculous, and it's almost that simple, man. If you can get Wemby the ball, everyone go to four corners, right? Everyone else go to the four corners on the court, so you can space this thing out as much as possible, right? And just let him go to work. It's a mismatch. It's a smaller guy on him. I like to see stuff like this versus that fadeaway, wild shot in the first quarter. Okay, so you see what we got here. Spurs giving up penetration to a wide open three ball in the corner. Now let's just take a look at this communication breakdown and see if it's something that's going to kind of impact us again next season. We have Chris Paul, first off, who's going to get caught in this action. You got Mamu in help. He's doing a good job. Fox is kind of caught right now and on Kispert. There he goes back into help. Everyone's kind of doing all right here, but where the Spurs get broken down again, chasing over screens, they just didn't want to do it anymore. They're like, man, it's a long point of the season. What are we gonna be chasing over screens for? That's what it seemed like to me. So again, late communication or no communication, just leave it to Wemby to try to make a miracle happen and cover the whole floor, which he does. That's the Wemby effect right there. Even though there's no communication on this switch on the defensive end. Just him being around and kind of pivoting in the right way to cover ground here in the paint makes him just unbelievable. Look, he's caught up here by the free throw line. Fox is kind of in the right place too, just kind of offering help, but kind of on the wrong guy, right? Ends up being just penetrate, kick out, and to the best shooter that they have on their team, and he knocks it down, and boom, boom, just like that. Kispert's kind of on a heater. So the Spurs got to do a better job of dealing with those communications, and that should be kind of a priority early on in training camp. Is vocabulary and increasing communication. Now we look at this play here. Was one we just saw. Okay, let's see. Kispert in the corner. All right. Okay. All right. What do we got here? Another action. We're gonna have to. Okay, they do a good job sticking with their guy, figuring that out. Harrison Barnes and Stephon Castle do a good job on that little action there because that pretty much got him. Staying in front. Again, going over screens. It's open all day. All right, Spurs in transition, secondary break, clear out the floor. And this is what's Fox is going to do best, and this is what Fox is bringing to the table. Is just another ISO guy besides Wemby, where you can clear out the floor, and just all he does is a simple little back down and dribble his way into the paint and gets to where he wants to go. Like right there, Fox tells his Castle, go ahead and clear out. Other side of the floor is locked and ready. And I like to think about, the other side of the floor, right? And think about what you got out here. Shooter. Mamu can knock it down, and here comes Castle. All right. Mamu's telling Castle to chill in the dunker spot, right? Just wait there. So that was a good communication. There's nothing you can do about it. It gets in the spot, nothing you can do about it.